My name is Satoru, and I'm 30 years old. Just the other day, I proposed to Maki, my girlfriend of 3 years, and it was a great success. And today is the day I'm going to say hello to her parents. I'm so nervous, Maki.
It's okay, Satoru. I've already told them I got engaged to you and they weren't against it.
Maki was my classmate back in high school. We only spoke occasionally back in the day, so we hadn't seen each other since we graduated. But we had a lively conversation 3 years ago at a class reunion, and from there we developed into a relationship. And now, here we were.
Come on, now take a deep breath.
No, that's not how it is.
So I take it your tension's melted away?
Whenever I'm with Maki, I always have fun and feel at my happiest. I hope that we'll always be together. And so, I'm determined to be a good breadwinner for our family. I tried my best to make my trembling legs inconspicuous as I stepped into Maki's parents' house. Her mother prepared tea and sweets for us. And after a cup of tea, we got down to business. This time, sir, ma'am, I came to ask for your blessing to marry your daughter. Please allow me your daughter's hand in marriage.
You sound a bit tense, dear.
But
of course, you're very welcome to.
if we never agreed, we wouldn't let you into our house in the first place. Thank you very much. Maki's parents were very kind, and I felt relieved and rubbed my pounding chest. Looks like I overcame a big hurdle.
Mr. Satoru, what was your job again? I asked Maki what it was a while ago, but I forgot about it.
As of now, I'm working at the electrical appliance manufacturer Monishiba. Monishiba, eh? Well then, I'm sure your livelihood's nice and stable at such a major conglomerate.
But lately I've started to hear that even major companies are a dangerous place to have a job. For your life. I wonder if you're okay.
Yes, the situation may indeed be tough for all companies for the moment, but I'm also accumulating steadily in savings, and even if I were laid off, our lives wouldn't be in immediate jeopardy.
It's not like this is an interview, honey. You really need not be so tense.
Then she'll be in good hands. Asking about how much you make per year is rather taboo, so I'll refrain from doing so. However, it's reassuring to hear that you have savings.
Indeed. I feel safe about our future, too.
Our future? I was a little confused by what her mother said, but I thought it's only natural that she would be worried about her life in old age. Of course, if she ever needed nursing care, I was willing to do my best to help.
Oh, Mr. Satoru, what sort of people are your family?
I only have my mother.
Excuse my rudeness, but what about your father?
My parents apparently got divorced soon after I was born, and I don't even remember his face.
Well then, you grew up with a single mother?
Yes, ma'am. Why do I feel disrespected in some way? What's wrong about being raised by a single mother? She allowed me the chance to go to university, and she was the woman who gave it all for my sake.
It's going to be very difficult for you, Maki. Being married to a son raised by a single mother is often riddled with problems.
Everything is all right. My mother's already met Maki, and she welcomes her as my bride. If something happens, you can come home anytime, you know.
Dad, stop!
The three of them laughed, but the way her parents said it didn't sound like a joke. So try as I might, I literally could not laugh. I couldn't laugh from the bottom of my heart. About an hour later, I left Maki's house and headed to the station. Maki followed me to see me off. Do they like me? They don't hate me, right?
It's fine, honey. You were so nervous that what would normally seem like a joke didn't really sound that way.
True. You're absolutely right. Now that I thought about it, I easily got their blessing to marry her, and they gave me a warm welcome into the family. Mentally, I was saved by Maki's words, and I was able to sleep soundly that evening. Today, I was going to the real estate agency to look for an apartment to live in with Maki. I went to pick up Maki by car when I saw her mother waiting beside her.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Well then, Maki, shall we go?
Can Mom tag along too?
Huh?
See, we've always lived at home with our parents, and we both never lived alone before. And Mom has some experience living alone when she was younger. And because our home's an apartment too, I thought she would be helpful when it came to choosing one for us.
Well, I guess you're right.
Yes, indeed. When I was choosing my current apartment, I went to a lot of viewings, so I could help tremendously.
I'd heard from Maki that her parents were already living in their apartment when their daughter was born. True, she may have more knowledge than us, but their knowledge from 30 years ago? I didn't think it would be of much help at all. However, she and I were going to be part of the same family. That's why I decided to swallow my doubt and take Maki's mother with us. Thank you very much, ma'am. Let's go then. We arrived at the real estate office and I asked the staff about available rental apartments. I think a 3 LDK would be nice, and we'd be happy if it was close to Moni Station.
How flexible are you when it comes to the rent, sir?
I'd like it very much if I could keep it at 150,000 yen maximum.
If that's the case, how about this one? It's a 40-year-old building, but it's been renovated and the interior is as clean as a new building.
No, brand new buildings are the only option.
You might prefer a new home, ma'am, but I'm not looking to buy an apartment.
Why would you live in such an old place when you'll be marrying Maki and living with her?
Do you have any new apartment buildings?
We do. However, under the same conditions, it will take you rather far away from Moni Station.
My workplace is going to cover a portion of the rent, but I want to keep it as low as possible. I also want to build a house someday, which is why I save money a lot. What do you think, Maki?
Well, let's see. I do think it would be better to have an apartment that's as new as possible. It's the first time the two of us will be living together after all.
You're right. Well then, ma'am, mind if we have a look at the apartment you suggested just now?
Very good, sir.
Aside from her mother, if Maki also thought that a newer apartment would be nice, it couldn't be helped. It's a long way from the station, but if I try my best to get up early to get to work, it'll be fine.
What do you think about this one? It's 5 years old, but I believe the conditions are the same as what you're looking for.
Come now, girl. It's been 5 years. Someone's lived there before, you know? Well, if it's only 5 years, I'm fine with it. Our own home is over 30 years old now, right? If you're okay with it, Maki, then I won't pester.
Being with her mother is so goddamn tiring, honestly. After that, we had a look around the apartment and called it a day without signing any contract just yet. I want to see what other real estate agents have as well, and I want to go together with Maki only. Ma'am, thank you so much for today. I shall take you home now, too.
What are you guys going to do?
We're gonna have some lunch.
I'm going to. I want to know more about you, after all, Satoru.
But I think I've learned enough about you, ma'am. But you try refusing such a request. It's harder than you think. I glanced at Maki, but she didn't seem to care about whether her mother came along or not. I had no choice this particular day. It's crucial for a groom to talk to the bride's family, after all. And thus, I gave up on spending time together with Maki that day. We're here. Is this the right place?
Yes, it is.
We arrived at the Italian restaurant that her mother wanted to go to. Why are we going where she wanted to go? There was someplace I wanted to bring Maki.
Satoru, are you okay with Mom tagging along?
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear you say so. Mom's always been so nosy.
This isn't so much nosiness as it is selfishness in my eyes, sweetheart. Well, I guess I'll get used to it eventually. It's only the second time we met. When I looked at the menu, everything was more expensive than I thought. What? Isn't 3,000 yen for a single plate of pasta ridiculous? The hell is going on with her sense of finance? If she lived in a billionaire's household, it might be a different story, but Maki mentioned her father was just an ordinary office worker.
It's expensive.
I know, right?
What are you talking about? This is normal.
Hell no, it isn't. The woman not only ordered a plate of pasta, but other things like pizza, wine, and cake, all of which was for herself, by the way. She ended up with a little bit of leftovers from every dish. Meanwhile, Maki ordered pasta and salad and polished off her plates perfectly. There ain't no way this is Maki's mother.
Well then, let's go.
She passed by the cash register and waited at the entrance without even taking the bill. Wait, am I gonna pay for it all? I reluctantly gave the bill to the cashier. The lunch ended up costing me almost 20,000 yen.
I'm so sorry, Satoru. I'll pay for Mom and I.
I honestly wanted to get her mother's share paid back. But here, I decided to be a man and pay for everything. Her mother, who drank a good deal of wine, said she was feeling a little drunk. We wound up taking her home, and thus the day came to a close. Damn, that was a rough day. I'm genuinely worried about whether I'll be able to get along with Maki's family from now on. Such was my unsure self, but we moved forward with our plans to get married. 1 month later, today, Maki and I were going to see the wedding venue.
Well then, shall we try on some gowns now?
Yes, let's.
Maki in a wedding dress. She'll look beautiful, I just know it. After waiting a dozen minutes or so for her to put everything on, Maki emerged from the room dressed in white. Wow, you look gorgeous!
Thanks. Can you take a picture of me? Mom said she was interested in the wedding dress too, and she wanted me to show it to her.
Of course! After that, Maki continued trying on wedding dresses.
Of the two, which one did you think was better?
For me, it's the second one. It's fluffier, and I think it makes you look like a true princess in all her beauty.
Aw, damn, I can't choose. Oh, Mom's calling me. Hello? The dress was so cute. But honey, why were there only two?
Her voice was so loud that I could easily hear it even without speakerphone turned on. I'm sure she felt overjoyed to see her daughter's radiance.
There's a limit to the number of dresses I can try on, Mom.
Huh? Try them all on.
What? I can't do that.
Why not? I want to speak with the staff at the venue.
No, I can't do that.
I'm worried about my precious daughter's wedding. I can ask some questions, can't I?
Excuse me, my mother seems to have something to talk about.
And so, Maki used the speaker to have a conversation with the staff.
Hello, ma'am. Your daughter looked...
What do you mean?
She can only try on 2 dresses? Today is merely a tour, ma'am. If she signs up for a contract, she can try on as many pieces as she pleases. What are you so stingy about? I thought your services were nice. I'll find somewhere better. I'm sorry, ma'am, but even this is a limited time campaign of ours.
Goddamn stingy pricks.
Maki, find some other place to have your wedding.
But...
That's final. And also, stop by the house with Satoru today. Am I clear?
And then she hung up. We both really liked this wedding venue, and I was thinking of signing a contract if we were happy with the dress checks. But because her mother refused, we decided to leave the contract on the shelf for the time being. We apologized to the staff and left the venue with a bad taste in our mouth.
We're home.
Don't mind if I do.
Welcome back. The dress was very beautiful, honey. Thanks, Mom. But why would you say something like that? The venue is far too stingy, honey. You'll have your wedding at a more luxurious place.
I agree. It's a once-in-a-lifetime time of glory for you, sweetie, so don't go to a wedding venue that doesn't reflect the client's wishes. Well, we can just take our time and decide.
Sure.
Why were we being criticized for a wedding ceremony that we were frickin' paying for? I wanted to respect my parents' wishes, but we are the main characters this time. And there was absolutely no financial support whatsoever. If you want us to find a better, more luxurious venue, at least give us some financial support. There was a slightly uneasy atmosphere in the air when the doorbell rang. And what worse to be served upon the table than a large, round sushi plate filled with lots of nigiri and hand-rolled sushi. It was a very extravagant celebration.
We ordered some Moni sushi to celebrate the occasion, my dears. Please feel free to dig in. You too, Satoru.
Moni Sushi is a long-established, high-class restaurant that has been in business for 100 years. Really? Honestly, I couldn't imagine someone who didn't pay for her own lunch the other day would serve such a dish. But I was sure she was so happy about her daughter's marriage. Bon appetit!
About the dresses, Maki. You look wonderful in the second one, so let's choose that form. We have to order soon. It will probably take a long time to finish.
Huh?
Well, now that's a rental dress. I won't let my daughter wear a dress that someone has worn on the most important day of her life.
Yes, that's right. Dresses are only used for that special day, ma'am, and they're quite expensive. If you're a man, you should at least buy your bride's dress.
You want a dress too, don't you, Maki? I mean, what woman doesn't, but we don't have a place to put it.
I think your room will be good enough. Once you get married, you'll be living in your brand new apartment. Keep it here with us. No. I have a lot of expenses as it is. But it's still going to cost a lot of money.
It's okay. We'll help out in that regard.
The sushi today is delicious, ain't it, Satoru-san? When he said that, the two of them glared at me. Oh, hell no, these chowderheads are crazy. The pressure's too much. I'll have a look next time. From there, they went on getting all hyped up talking about the wedding, but I wasn't enjoying myself at all. The sushi, which was supposed to be legendary, also felt bland in my mouth. We then found and signed a contract with a wedding venue that was a little more extravagant than the previous. We were right on our way back from that venue.
I wonder if the dress was really the right choice. The price was honestly ridiculous.
And you wanted a dress, honey. That's good enough for me. It really did take a bite out of my bank account, but I was determined to make Maki's wishes come true as much as I could. My savings will be reduced by some amount, but I'm not forcing myself to take out a loan or anything just yet. I let myself be the man once again.
Thank you, Satoru. I love you. Is it okay if we call it a day here?
Huh? We're going to the movies now, aren't we?
I'm sorry. I forgot about a promise I made to a friend of mine. I don't mind if you watch the movie without me.
We can watch a movie whenever we want. Next time, Maki, we'll watch it together.
The screening will end soon, so you should definitely check it out, I think. I won't be able to see you next week because of the trip anyway. Well then, have fun. I'll text you after I'm done.
Sure, be careful. I said goodbye to Maki and I went to a nearby book cafe. I bought a novel that caught my eye and sat down at the counter. Come to think of it, Maki hangs out with her friends a lot on the weekends these days. She mentioned she wanted to get some time with them in before she got married, but I think she can spend time with them even after we get married. I secretly had some doubts, but maybe Maki was prioritizing the weekends we'd spend together as a married couple. I thus concluded I was overthinking things. As I sipped the café au lait I'd ordered, I looked out the window and saw a sight that troubled me gravely. Huh? That's Maki, right? Maki was walking arm in arm with a man I didn't recognize. From the point of view of passers-by, they looked like a couple. Her friend? A guy? Wait a minute, I've seen him somewhere before. I thought I remembered seeing that face in a photo album of ours from our school days that I once brought to make a wedding movie just the other day. I rushed out of the store but lost sight of them. I went home right away and checked the data. It turns out he was her friend from middle school. What does that mean? Are they close enough to be able to link arms? I'll ask Yuji. Yuji is my best friend from high school, and we've helped each other out a ton in college. He went to the same middle school as Maki, too, so he might know something about the situation. Yuji, did you know the man in the upper right corner? Ah, that's Kenya, who is 1 year older than us. He was known for being a good-looking guy at our junior high school. I heard that he's now working as a popular host. Is that so? Is he good friends with Maki? I remember them being in the same tennis club, so I would think so. Actually, dude, Maki was walking with him, arm in arm. What? Now that is suspicious. I thought so. Why don't you hire a detective? It would be better to know the truth before you get married. If she isn't guilty, that's fine in itself. You're right. Thanks a bunch, bro. And so I decided to take the plunge and ask a detective. I asked him to prove my suspicions wrong and not to catch her red-handed. A few weeks after I asked the detective to help me, I went to the wedding venue to pick out nice clothes for our parents. Maki's parents and my own mother were there that day. My mother, who now knew everything, was in a really bad mood.
Oh, that looks nice. No, it's a little expensive. It's alright. Satoru's an excellent man after all, right? If I may, why are all of you burdening my son so much? According to Satoru, Miss Maki hardly ever contributes to anything. I have no complaints if it was a mutual decision between bride and groom, but why don't you parents be more considerate? I'm a mother sending her daughter out as a wife. It's only natural to do this much for her. The cheapest one should be enough. He's going to stand next to Maki at the altar. I can't afford to let him dress cheaply. Then why don't you pay for that? Do you folks have any money at all?
We have some money. And what about you, ma'am? You're a single mother, aren't you?
Yes, I am. So what? There's no correlation between being a single mother and income. Hey! What's with you and your spiteful attitude, eh? I can't give my daughter to such a cold family.
I agree. And you, Satoru-san, how can you be so quiet about this? From now on, you will be the breadwinner of the family. Put your mother in her place. I won't allow you to marry my daughter otherwise. At that moment, I smiled sinisterly. Wow, perfect timing. I was wondering how to bring up the topic. I accept your suggestion, sir. I don't need your daughter. What? I said I don't need your daughter. I request that you forbid me from marrying her.
Hey, now, Satoru! I admit Mom and Dad said too much, but you really need not take such extreme measures. Think about my feelings too.
Huh? Even though you ignore my feelings?
What are you talking about?
Why don't you explain this? I shoved the photo that the detective took for me under her nose. The photo was one of her and the bloke named Kenya boarding the bullet train. Who is this guy? Where are you going with your suitcases?
What is this photo? Satoru?
Answer me. If your answer reveals nothing guilty, there won't be a problem between us.
He's a friend. The other friends we were gonna meet at the hotel.
What other friends? I have some photos of the hotel, but no one else is there.
They suddenly couldn't come anymore.
I see. Then how about this one? Here you are. The two of you go into a love hotel.
What? This is because Ken and I were drunk, and we just went inside to take a break.
Still, a love hotel is a strange place to take a break, not to mention neither of you look drunk. Also, this guy goes on dates with other women and goes to hotels with them too? Is that okay with you?
Huh? Why?
Perhaps Maki couldn't hide her shock, for she revealed her honest reaction. Ha! Why did you go this far and yet went on to prepare to marry me?
I just couldn't back out. It's not like I dislike you, Satoru.
The hell is that? Sorry, but my love for you is now gone. You mean nothing to me now. The engagement's off. You're going to pay me back everything, including the cancellation fee for the wedding, the dress, and everything else I paid for. I'll also demand alimony.
Wait a minute. Come on. Now, the marriage blues drove the poor girl to do something like this. This happened before you registered under the same name. You better be more magnanimous.
I agree. It's ridiculous that you would have us shoulder the whole damn burden. Call a lawyer.
Yes, how can I help you?
Huh?
Yes, sir, I am a lawyer. If you continue saying something more terrible than this, the alimony will only increase, sir. Today's transactions have all been recorded on this voice recorder. You goddamn bitch! Who, pray tell, is the goddamn bitch here, ma'am? I will not allow her to be part of my family. Please, ma'am! I repeat, I will not allow her to be a part of my family. No, please.
Well then, please discuss the rest with the people at the wedding venue. As for the alimony issue, I will take all legal measures and notify you properly of my demands. To be honest, when I looked back on all my memories with Maki, I felt like crying. But I couldn't forgive her for cheating on me even once. And I couldn't even begin to imagine living with those bags of toxic sludge for the rest of my life. I'm sorry, Mom, for this whole damn fiasco.
Good on you to have realized this before you married. Divorce makes things so damn complicated after all.
A wise woman has spoken.
Perhaps.
Later, according to Mom, Maki's family had to repay the cancellation fees to various venues and alimony to me, and it's making their life very hard. Her father seemed to have boasted about being more than capable to pay everything off, but he had spent all of his savings on dubious investments. It seems that Maki is still in a relationship with Kenya, the host, but he's only using her for the sake of sales and popularity. And she's started a part-time job in the hostess industry. As for me, I've started by looking for an honest partner. This time, I want to build a good relationship with them and with their parents.